On February 13th, 1748, a ship vanished into the ocean, only to reappear 50 years later, sailing without a single living soul aboard. But here's the terrifying part. Decades later, it suddenly reappeared, with its crew still on board. But what they found inside is the real nightmare. This is the chilling true story of the Lady Lovibond, the ghost ship that refuses to stay dead.
Sailing the seas is nothing short of thrilling. With endless views, roaring waves, and weather that can change in an instant, the ocean is both beautiful and unpredictable. For centuries, explorers have set out across these waters seeking adventure and discovery. But sometimes, the sea reveals its own astonishing secrets. Today's journey takes us through some of the most unbelievable discoveries made beneath the ocean's surface. Lady Lovibond, the Phantom Schooner. Who doesn't enjoy a chilling ghost story, especially one about a ship that seems to defy time and space? The tale of the Lady Lovibond, a legendary three-masted schooner, has haunted sailors for generations. This eerie saga begins on February 13th, 1748, not only a tragic date but also a Friday the 13th. Captain Simon Reed brought his new bride, Annette, aboard for their honeymoon voyage. But the romantic trip quickly turned into a nightmare. Back then, sailors were wary of two things. Sailing on Friday the 13th, believed to bring misfortune. Having a woman on board, thought to bring bad luck at sea. Fueling the doomed journey was jealousy. The ship's first mate, John Rivers, secretly loved Annette. Driven by obsession, he murdered the boatswain and seized control of the vessel. In a horrifying act, he purposely steered the Lady Lovibond into the dangerous Goodwin Sands, leading to the deaths of all aboard. Then came the ghostly reappearances. On February 13th, 1798, the ship was seen again near the same sands. The crew of the Eldridge, a nearby vessel, spotted the phantom ship and even heard echoes of a celebration aboard. The hauntings didn't stop there. In 1898, fishermen saw it too, only for it to vanish before they could help. And in 1948, it showed up bathed in an eerie green light. With this pattern repeating every 50 years, the next sighting is expected in 2048. Ghostly cruise, anyone? Bermuda Triangle shock. Ship returns after decades. Back in 1976, a ship mysteriously vanished while navigating the Bermuda Triangle region infamous for strange disappearances. Recently, to the shock of many, the very same vessel washed ashore at Horseshoe Bay Beach. Even more disturbing? The skeletal remains of its crew were still on board, sparking horror and curiosity. One chilling photo taken at the moment of discovery only deepened the mystery. Was this undeniable proof of the Bermuda Triangle's dark legacy? If you've heard more about this incident, don't hesitate to drop your theories in the comments. The ghost ship Joyita. Let's rewind to 1955 and talk about one of the ocean's creepiest mysteries, the Joyita. Originally built in the 1930s, this sturdy ship was designed for fishing and cargo trips, with a strong engine meant to handle long-distance voyages with ease. On October 25, 1955, the Joyita departed from Apia, the capital of Samoa, carrying 25 people, 15 crew, and 9 passengers. The trip was supposed to last just 48 hours. But after 2 days with no word, concerns mounted, triggering a full-scale search. It wasn't until November 10th, over 2 weeks later, that the ship was finally spotted. It had drifted 700 miles off course near Fiji. But the eerie part? No one was aboard. The passengers had vanished without a trace, and what remained offered no clear explanation. The sea has many secrets, and sometimes it seems it's not quite done with the ships or the people it takes. The ghostly mystery of the Joyita. When rescuers found the Joyita, it was in terrible shape, tilted to one side, partially underwater and eerily quiet. The scene was haunting. Even stranger? Not a single person was on board. All 25 passengers and crew had completely vanished. But the mystery didn't stop there. The ship had a few unsettling details. Every lifeboat was missing. The radio was still on and set to the emergency frequency, 2,182 kilohertz. The radio's clock had frozen at 10:25. A first aid kit was opened with used bandages, suggesting someone was injured. Several cargo items and documents had also disappeared. So, what really happened to the Joy Eater and everyone aboard? Theories have swirled for decades. Some say it could have been a leftover unit from the Japanese military post, WWII. Others suspect pirates or a violent conflict between crew members. There's even speculation that the captain died or took his own life, throwing the voyage into chaos. Whatever the truth is, no one knows for sure. The Joy Eater's case remains one of the sea's most chilling unsolved mysteries. It may have been lost at sea, but it's still very much alive in people's imaginations. Ghostly sea creatures. It's not just ghost ships. There are eerie creatures lurking deep underwater too. Scientists recently came across the deepest living fish ever recorded, found in the Mariana Trench, the ocean's deepest known spot, sitting over 0 feet below the surface. This spooky creature, nicknamed the ghost fish, looks just as creepy as it sounds. It's almost see-through, giving it a ghost-like appearance, and seems to glide through the water like a floating spirit. It was discovered during a deep-sea expedition in the Philippine Sea, not far from Guam. The ghost fish has evolved to survive the crushing pressure of the trench, which is over 1,000 times stronger than what we experience on land. It's delicate but cleverly built to withstand extreme conditions. As technology improves, we may find even more strange, otherworldly animals lurking in the ocean's black depths, like discovering nature's hidden monsters. A dinosaur from the deep? Back in April 1977, off the coast of Christchurch, New Zealand, a Japanese fishing vessel called the Zuiyo Maru made an incredible discovery. They hauled in a massive, decaying body from the sea creature nearly 10 meters long and weighing about 40 pounds. The crew nicknamed it Nessie, comparing it to the mythical Loch Ness monster because it looked like a creature from another age. The body was badly decomposed, but some features stood out. A long neck, 4 limb-like appendages, a lengthy tail. It looked shockingly similar to a prehistoric dinosaur. But the catch came with a downside: the stench was overwhelming. The smell was so foul that the captain eventually ordered the mysterious creature to be dumped back into the ocean. They soon regretted it. Who knows what secrets the strange carcass could have revealed about ancient marine life? It remains a baffling ocean enigma that may never be solved. The cartoon-faced shark. Something about this shark's face was both eerie and oddly comical. It all began when an Indonesian fisherman and his brother hauled in a shark during a regular fishing trip. But when they cut it open, they were stunned inside with 3 baby sharks. 2 looked normal, but the third was straight out of a sci-fi cartoon. This strange little shark had large, round eyes placed unusually close, a snout that looked like it was drawn by a kid with a twisted sense of humor. Marine experts later identified the condition as cyclopia, a rare developmental issue where the eyes don't properly separate. It left the pup with a distorted face that looked almost human. Even with the scientific explanation, the shark's bizarre look was unsettling. The fisherman, however, saw it as a sign of good fortune. Still, it raises questions. If this shark had lived, how would it have survived the harsh ocean world with such a deformity? We may never know, but it's definitely one of nature's strangest surprises. Lost at sea and saved by a glimmer. The ocean doesn't forgive easily, and if you're caught off guard, it can be brutal. That's what happened to Will Franson, who went fishing solo off the coast of New Zealand. Things were going smoothly until he snagged a big catch. In the struggle to pull it in, he lost his balance and fell overboard. His boat, still running, drifted off without him. Will suddenly found himself 34 miles from shore, alone in the vast open sea, battling waves and exhaustion as night approached. For nearly 24 hours, he fought to stay afloat. He tried swimming toward what looked like distant land, but the currents dragged him farther out. Just when hope was running dry, he saw a fishing boat. But he was so weak he couldn't yell. That's when he had a stroke of genius, angled his wristwatch to reflect the sunlight. The flash of light caught the eye of the fishermen through their binoculars. They turned the boat around and rescued him, just in time. That tiny gleam from his watch became his lifeline. Without it, he might have vanished into the ocean forever. It's a chilling but incredible story of survival and a reminder that even the smallest tool can save your life. Japan's mysterious mermaid. Off the coast of Japan, sailors once stumbled upon a bizarre sea creature that looked like it was stitched together from different animals. Though it didn't match the typical mermaid image, it was later labeled one by researchers in 2022. The creature, just 12 inches long, was named a Ningyo, meaning human fish in Japanese. It had strange human-like features and quickly reminded people of ancient folklore. According to legend, Ningyo weren't just oddities, they were believed to possess powerful gifts: eternal life, healing abilities, good fortune, and long life. Because of this, the sailors handed it over to a temple for safekeeping, hoping it might carry blessings. Whether it was a mythical being or not, the Ningyo stirred curiosity and wonder just like the ocean itself always does. Plot twist: the fake mermaid. Turns out that magical mermaid found in Japan wasn't magical at all. After careful scientific analysis, researchers discovered it was nothing more than a cleverly built fake. Made from a mix of materials, the creature had been pieced together during Japan's Edo period, 1603–1868, to sell as a quirky collectible for the rich, who were fascinated by legends of Ningyo and their supernatural powers. Basically, it was a well-executed scam that fooled people for centuries. But hey, a good story sells, and this one definitely did. Alien of the deep, the football fish. If there's a creature that could easily belong in a deep space horror movie, it's the football fish, also called the anglerfish. One of these eerie beings washed ashore near Cannon Beach in Oregon, shocking beachgoers with its grotesque, otherworldly form. These fish usually live far below the surface, around 300 to 0 feet down where light doesn't reach. Their creepy features include sharp teeth, a pitch-black body, and a haunting glare. Americans dubbed it the football fish due to its lumpy shape, but this thing looks way scarier than anything you'd see on the field. Even weirder? Only the females are big and hunt using a glowing lure. The males? They're tiny, useless by comparison, and spend their lives fused to the female, mooching nutrients off her like a parasite. Nature can be harsh and seriously bizarre. Cyclops shark sighting. In 2023, a team of researchers tracking tiger sharks in the Caribbean stumbled upon an incredible surprise. A fisherman had caught a strange shark, and one of the scientists from Florida quickly realized this wasn't any ordinary catch, it was a Greenland shark. These ancient creatures are some of the longest living animals on Earth, capable of living for centuries, up to 500 years. In fact, but the real twist: Greenland sharks usually hang around the cold Arctic. What was one doing chilling in the tropical Caribbean? Maybe even sharks need a little vacation now and then. Either way, it was a rare and eye-opening find that left the team with more questions than answers. The mystery monster of Mexico. A coastal village in Mexico got a fright when a bizarre, decaying creature washed ashore. Locals couldn't believe their eyes. The thing looked like it crawled out of a horror film, complete with sharp fangs, a strange body shape, and fur. That's right, fur. Some guessed it might be a decomposed seal, but its features were so strange that it didn't match any known species. Photos of the creature spread fast, leaving everyone to wonder, what else is hiding beneath the waves? Lost treasure: the iPhone container. In 2023, a group of sailors navigating waters off the coast of France came across something unusual: a floating shipping container drifting alone. Probably lost overboard during a storm, it had clearly been at sea for a while. Now, stumbling upon a container in open water is like playing mystery roulette. It could be full of junk, smuggled goods, or valuable cargo. These sailors didn't hesitate. With some teamwork and elbow grease, they pulled it on board using ropes. What they found inside made the whole effort worthwhile: a shipment of brand new iPhones. Whether they turned it over to the authorities or not, well, that part's left to the imagination. The floating iPhone mystery. In 2023, a group of sailors off the coast of France stumbled upon something curious: a container drifting aimlessly in the ocean. Naturally, they decided to haul it aboard, wondering if it held something valuable, illegal, or just plain trash. Turns out, it was loaded with brand new iPhones, neatly packed and untouched. Talk about stumbling on a tech jackpot. It's believed the container had fallen off a cargo ship, something that actually happens more often than you'd think. Thousands of containers get lost at sea every year due to storms or mishaps. Today, scholars aren't entirely sure how it worked or what else might be hidden at the wreck site. That's why researchers are planning a return to the area, hoping to uncover more pieces of this ancient puzzle. Whether it's a forgotten calendar, a cosmic calculator, or so this one. Somehow it stayed afloat, possibly thanks to loads of bubble wrap acting like a life raft. But before you start dreaming of a free iPhone, remember, cargo is carefully tracked. If you find it, it's not technically yours, claiming it could count as theft. Still, It's a wild reminder that even the ocean gets tech deliveries, occasionally. The horned tuna surprise off the west coast of Australia. Fishermen caught something that looked more fantasy than fish a tuna with a horn. It looked like a mashup between a yellowfin tuna and a baby narwhal. Known for their speed and strength, yellowfin tuna are no strangers to fishermen in the region. But this one raised eyebrows. On closer inspection, it wasn't a mythical creature. It had a harmless tumor, likely from an injury. Though not magical, it was still a rare and strange sight. Fish mutations aren't common, so this catch left quite an impression. No unicorns here, just nature being weird. Rocket engines from the deep. When NASA's Apollo rockets launched toward the moon, the first stage engines were dropped into the ocean, where they were believed to be lost forever. That is, until Jeff Bezos, the Amazon billionaire, decided to go hunting for them. In a self-funded mission costing millions, he launched an expedition to recover the engines. After years underwater, they were located in 2012 and brought to the surface. Restoration took 2 years, and today, they're proudly displayed at Seattle's Museum of Flight. These engines once helped launch humanity into space, and now they're a symbol of curiosity, determination, and one man's deep-sea treasure hunt. The Ancient Mystery Machine. In 1900, divers exploring a shipwreck near the Greek island of Antikythera uncovered an assortment of treasure statues, coins, and one odd little device that would go on to puzzle experts for decades. This strange artifact, now known as the Antikythera mechanism, is thought to be the world's earliest computer. Dating back to the 4th century BC, it's a complex arrangement of gears that may have been used to track celestial bodies or predict eclipses. Its design is so intricate that even mything entirely different, the Antikythera mechanism remains one of the most fascinating mysteries ever recovered from the deep. Queen Anne's Revenge. For pirate enthusiasts, few discoveries are as thrilling as the Queen Anne's Revenge-one of the rarest pirate shipwrecks ever found. This legendary vessel once belonged to the notorious pirate Blackbeard, also known as Edward Teach. He captured the ship from the French and used it during his most infamous raids. In 1718, Blackbeard abandoned the ship off the coast of North Carolina to escape the British. For 300 years, it sat quietly beneath the waves until it was finally discovered in 1996, just a mile from Atlantic Beach. The wreck turned out to be a gold mine of history. Over 250 zero artifacts were recovered, including 30 cannons. What makes it truly special, though, is its connection to Blackbeard himself. While there are millions of shipwrecks under the sea, only a select few are actual pirate ships like this one. It's a rare peek into real pirate history and one incredible find. Turtle Graveyard. In 2019, while exploring the waters around Sipodon Island in Malaysia, photographer Josh Vergara made a chilling discovery: an underwater turtle graveyard hidden inside a cave. But this wasn't the first time it was spotted. The legendary oceanographer Jacques Cousteau actually found it back in the 1980s. What happened to these turtles? They accidentally swam into the cave, became trapped, and couldn't find their way back out. Without access to the surface for air, they eventually died inside, creating a haunting underwater tomb. Nicknamed the Turtle Tomb, it's a unique and somber sight beneath the waves. A rare reminder that even the ocean has eerie, hidden corners where stories of tragedy quietly rest. Bimini Road. Picture yourself diving off the coast of the Bahamas and stumbling upon what looks like a stone highway under the sea. That's exactly what happened in 1968 when divers near North Bimini Island found an underwater formation made of large, rectangular limestone blocks laid out like a road. This curious formation sparked all kinds of theories. Some believe it's a remnant of the fabled lost city of Atlantis, especially since the stones appear intentionally arranged. At just 18 feet below the surface, it's easily accessible but still unexplained. Is it a natural phenomenon or evidence of an ancient civilization? Either way, Bimini Road keeps dreamers and explorers guessing. Maybe, just maybe, it's a piece of the mythical Atlantis waiting to be fully uncovered. The Yonaguni Monument. Think ancient pyramids but underwater. That's the Yonaguni Monument, a mysterious structure lying off the coast of Taiwan, discovered in 1986. Divers, originally searching for hammerhead sharks, accidentally came across this massive formation rising from the seabed. It spans about 90 feet in height and 490 feet in length, an enormous presence beneath the waves. What is it exactly? Some say it's a man-made relic from the lost continent of Mu. Others argue it's just a rare but natural rock formation shaped by the sea. Carvings and smaller nearby structures only add to the puzzle, leaving many to wonder if they've stumbled upon the remains of an ancient civilization. Whether crafted by human hands or carved by nature, the Yonaguni Monument remains a captivating underwater enigma. Supersized sea creatures. The deep ocean is home to creatures so large they sound like something out of science fiction. In 2012, Japanese scientists captured video of a giant squidone of the ocean's most elusive animals. Then in 2019, another was filmed in the Gulf of Mexico, lurking over 500 feet deep. These deep-sea giants once seemed mythical, but now we know they're very real and still largely mysterious. Then there's the giant isopod, a creepy, oversized cousin of the common pillbug. These scavengers can grow up to 2.5 feet long and roam the sea floor looking for dead animals. Add in the lion's mane jellyfish, and you've got a full roster of sea giants. The biggest jellyfish ever recorded stretched an astonishing 120 feet longer than a school bus with a 7-foot wide bell. Found near Massachusetts, these jellyfish might not be deadly, but their sting still packs a punch. They're a reminder that the ocean still hides massive, bizarre creatures in its depths. Tenote Angelita, nature's submerged river. In Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula lies a natural marvel. Tenote Angelita, a place where an underwater river flows beneath a sinkhole. How? It's all thanks to hydrogen sulfide, a gas heavier than salt water, which forms a thick layer separating fresh and salt water. This creates the illusion of a river snaking through the depths. This dreamlike underwater scene features submerged trees and ghostly branches that make it look like something from a fantasy world. Stretching down nearly 100 meters, it's a favorite of seasoned divers who are brave enough to navigate its eerie beauty. The rest of us? We'll have to enjoy it through photos and stories. The locomotive graveyard. Now here's a twist. Instead of sunken ships, imagine stumbling upon sunken trains. That's exactly what diver Paul Hepler found in 1985 off the New Jersey coast. While using a magnetometer to map the ocean floor, he unexpectedly discovered two rare Planet-class 222T locomotives sitting 295 feet underwater. These steam engines were only produced for a short time, making their presence on the ocean floor especially strange. How did they get there? Some think they fell off a barge. Others guess they were dumped during stormy seas. No one really knows. But this odd underwater train graveyard is now a favorite spot for divers fascinated by history and mystery. The ocean's endless mysteries. From underwater monuments to giant sea creatures, rivers beneath rivers, and trains that somehow ended up at sea, the ocean never ceases to amaze. Its depths hold secrets that continue to baffle and inspire explorers. Who knows what's still waiting to be discovered? Until then, we keep diving, dreaming, and wondering what lies just beneath the surface.
What do you think about this story? Share your thought in the comment, and do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more interesting stories. Goodbye and stay curious.